Hello, friends. Tom Curran, Phil Perry with your quick and dirty training camp update. It's August 2nd, 2022, better known as Taekwondo Thornton Day. Mercy to the wide receiver. Have a day out there. He really looked great, and I was very skeptical about his frame, about his fit, but his seriousness when we've spoken to him and his performance on the field so far, Phil, I think has been really encouraging about maybe making a contribution early, and they put a lot on him.
They do. He was out there with the first group offensively, getting some real reps with Mac Jones, which to me is a positive sign. And Tom, we see him early, even in the one-on-one period of practice, where he's not necessarily going against, for instance, fellow rookie Jack Jones. Today we saw him make maybe the play of the day on Jalen Mills, who is the de facto number one corner on this team. So that, as much as the positive plays, how the Patriots have used him has stood out to me. It's clear they're starting to trust him more and more.
This was a ridiculous catch, and I don't know how tight we are on the camera here. Can you hold on? Catch him.
Sunned him.
I did. I sunned him. What are we doing? We're doing a camera thing. Here, watch this. This is Taekwondo Thornton. Bringing it in on a sharp angle and just cradling it and bringing it. It was outstanding. And he had Mills in coverage, who actually applauded him. We also saw a nice one-handed catch by Nelson Agholor. We also saw occasions where Nelson Agholor felt as if the offense or the passing play had broken down, and he was a little bummed out. I couldn't tell if it was at Taekwondo Thornton's route or the fact that it broke down. But again, we saw a little bit of a disjointed day from my perspective, and Phil goes much more into the granular aspects. Just way too many occasions where the quarterback is back there, and after 2 or 3 seconds, he's running with the ball. That's not the design.
Yeah, to me, for the second straight day, the offensive line in particular has looked disjointed in the team periods. A lot of plays where there's pressure getting into Mac Jones. We saw the defense start to deploy some games, Tom, so they're stunting and they're twisting up front. That maybe is causing some confusion. But there are also players that you just see completely unblocked at times.
Yep.
And so whether it's a pass play like the one you're describing, and Mac Jones was sacked on 2 separate occasions in 11-on-11 today, or a run play where a linebacker or a defensive lineman is completely untouched to completely blow up the play, that's obviously not what you're looking for, Tom, and it's going to lead to questions because the offensive line coach in title is Matt Patricia, and he's not necessarily always throughout camp with the offensive line. We've seen him leave Billy Yates to handle things so that he can be the de facto offensive coordinator, and that makes sense. But if the offensive line play isn't up to snuff, and it's early, but if that's an issue, that will be something that's very easy for everyone to point to.
And it's a drop-off. You've got Dante Scarnecchia here for 4 decades practically, and then you go to Carmen Brasillo and
Cole Popovich.
Popovich no longer coaching. Brasillo's in Las Vegas. Billy Yates makes a reasonable move up, but it's a drop-off from one of the greatest offensive assistants of all time. And we're seeing it play out just a little bit early in camp with maybe some attention to detail. Talking to a league source today just about the coaching staff, I've had a couple of coaches mention just how hard they're working to me on the side. The Patriots have a very small staff. Everybody is spread very thin. And I had a league source tell me today, almost every team in the league has a main position coach and then an assistant. The Patriots only have a couple of positions in which there's 2 coaches. So again, spread very thin.
Well, the offensive line is one of them, right? And again, the assistant is the guy who looks like he's running the drills from time to time. So that's what I would say. I would just say disjointed offensively, although they did finish strong with a couple touchdown passes from Mac Jones first to Trey Nixon, who I think has had sort of an under-the-radar but very solid camp for the Patriots after a very good spring, and then another touchdown pass to Nelson Agholor in the back of the end zone. But again, even on that one, sitting with our guy Mike Reese, it looked like LeBrian Ray, who's an undrafted rookie out of Alabama, might have got in, and had he been able to contact the quarterback, would have been a sack situation there. So got to pick it up front for the offense.
A couple more quick names. Christian Barmore doing Christian Barmore things. He had an occasion where Phil goes, look at him, he's just dominating these third teamers. So I decided to watch the next play. He held off somebody and then wrapped up J.J. Taylor with one arm. It was Reggie White level dominance.
And it wasn't just with the third teamers.
It's not Reggie White.
We saw a lot of one-on-ones again for the big boys today. I had Barmore two wins, 1 loss against Mike Owenu. Other stars from one-on-ones. Josh Uche, I thought, had a very good day against Isaiah Wynn. He also went and split his reps against Trent Brown. Anthony Jennings, sneaky good practice today for the Patriots. He's had a bunch of those.
We got to adjourn. You'll be able to hear the Patriots Talk podcast. Phil's Nets Pats is coming up later in the week. We'll get into all this in much more detail on Bella's early edition with Trenny and, of course, Boston Sports Tonight. We'll see you all later. Bye.